What's up? And annyeonghaseyo to all my K-pop peeps out there. My name is Denise, and you are watching and or listening to my podcast called That K-Pop Talk, where every week I bring you the news and reviews of the latest and greatest in Korean popular music. Please don't forget to click, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to my podcast channel. And if you would like to support, there's a link that you can click on in the description box for that as well. Okay, you guys, sit back and relax because K-pop news is coming up next. Welcome back to That K-Pop Talk. I'm very excited because the MTV VMA nominations for 2023 have finally been released. I'm very excited because I am proud of the K-pop artists that have been nominated, because they're like, what, 1, 2, 3, there's like numerous K-pop artists that have been nominated in several different categories. So let's get straight into it. So the first category that was announced that had a K-pop artist in it was Song of the Summer, or Song of Summer rather. And we have 3 K-pop artists that have been nominated. The first one was your boy Jungkook. We already knew about this one. The song 7 featuring Lotto was nominated. Tomorrow by Together. Their song featuring the Jonas Brothers, Do It Like That, was nominated. And also Cupid by the group 50/50. Now that's Song of Summer. The second nomination I want to talk about is Show of the Summer. And I didn't know what this one meant, but it means, means the top tour of the summer. And that was Blackpink. They got nominated for their tour, Born Pink. And then you have Group of the Year. Group of the Year, like, K-pop artists swept this category. I count, 5 K-pop artists in our group that got nominated. Those nominations went to Blackpink, 50/50, New Jeans, 17, and Tomorrow by Together. I'm so proud of them on this category. Okay, now let's break this down even more. Let's talk about Blackpink. Blackpink had 6 nominations for the VMAs, and they were the most decorated nominated K-pop group or an artist for the VMAs. So besides them getting nominated for Show of the Summer, they also got nominated, and Group of the Year, by the way, they also got nominated for Best Choreography, Best Art Direction, Best Editing, and Best K-pop Group. And that is also for their album Pink Venom. So all that came from their album Pink Venom. Now we're going to talk about Tomorrow by Together. Although they weren't the most nominated for a K-pop group, they were the most nominated for a K-pop male group and the second most nominated of all the K-pop nominations. So besides them getting Group of the Year and also Song of the Summer, they got nominated for Push Performance and Best K-pop group for their song Sugar Rush Ride, which sort of surprised me because I was trying to figure out why Sugar Rush Ride did not get nominated for Song of the Summer. But then it made sense that it didn't come out in the summer. But then I was thinking to myself, well, Cupid didn't come out in the summer. So I was really confused on that, why Sugar Rush Ride didn't also get nominated for Song of the Summer. But, anywho, let's move on. So now we're going to come to the Best K-pop category. Like, this is the battle of all battles with K-pop artists, right, for the VMAs. So for that, we have aespa for their song Girls, Blackpink for their song Venom, 50/50 for their song Cupid, 17 for their song Super, Stray Kids for their song S-Class, and Tomorrow by Together for their song Sugar Rush Ride. Now, this is something I'm very excited for. So Tomorrow by Together and Stray Kids will be performing. And you guys, the voting has just been announced. It's on MTV's website, so please go and vote. Now, I know all the categories are not up yet. They're coming out on a rolling basis, but all the categories up for voting will be out. All of them will be out by September 7th. So if I were you, I will wait until September 7th. That way all the nominations will be up and then you can vote for everybody. But if you want to vote for some of them right now and then come back, you're more than welcome to go to MTV's website now, start voting, and then come back by the 7th to finish voting for the other categories. So congratulations to all the K-pop artists who got nominated for the MTV VMAs. And just so you guys will know, the VMAs will be September 12th from 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's my time, which will probably be what? I don't know what it is on Korea Standard Time because right now, I can't think that far. I just know you guys are 14 hours ahead of us. So do the math on that one. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about, speaking of Tomorrow by Together, they have just announced their next album. So they are having a comeback for October. As a matter of fact, their album is coming out October 13th, okay? I'm very excited for them because they've had a whirlwind 2023. I mean, you guys, they've had so many accolades. It's almost like New Jeans, like, between them and New Jeans, the accolades just keep racking up. Okay, so let's talk about what they've accomplished so far this year. Okay, so in January, they released their fifth album, their fifth mini album, which was, I said back in January, they released their fifth mini album. They had a world tour not so long after that. They topped the Billboard 200 for the first time. They collabed with the Jonas Brothers. Remember, I mentioned them earlier being nominated for Song of the Summer for Do It Like That. Now they have these MTV nominations. Big Hit announced that the exact dates of the comeback for October will be announced the closer they get to the promotion schedule. They're going to start off for their promotion schedule on the domestic side, meaning it will start off in South Korea, of course. And the name of their next album is going to be called The Name Chapter Free Fall. Now, you remember the last album was called The Name Chapter Temptation, and that was back in January. So it hasn't even been a whole year yet, and they've already come out with another album. But that's how TXT, or they prefer to be called Tomorrow by Together. And so I still have to get used to saying Tomorrow by Together instead of TXT, because when I read in that interview that that's what they prefer to be called, I have to subconsciously tell myself or consciously tell myself, okay, let's call them Tomorrow by Together, so TXT. And I'm wondering, how many of you guys made that mistake too? You guys say TXT because that's the quickest thing to say instead of Tomorrow by Together. But I'm letting you guys know they prefer to be called Tomorrow by Together instead of TXT. Okay, moving on, because we got to get more stuff out the way about them. Okay, so they are the first group to be ambassador to Dior. That's something else that happened this year. And they are the first K-pop group to headline Lollapalooza. So all this happened in the year 2023. And the year is not even over with yet. Because like I said, their next album is coming out next month. So think about it. In just less than a year, they had 2 albums come out, a tour, Lollapalooza, ambassadorship. Like they're being awarded, not awarded, but they're being nominated for the VMAs. And we're not even in the last quarter of the year yet. Like that's all the stuff that's coming their way. So I just want to say congratulations to them. Now, they debuted, just a little bit about them. They debuted on March 4th, 2019 under Big Hit Entertainment. Now it's called Big Hit Music because, as you know, Hype now is over, is their parent umbrella over Big Hit Music. They came out 6 years after BTS debuted. As you guys know, that's BTS's junior group, so to speak, meaning that's their like younger brothers in terms of music label, their label mates. And, you know, it's interesting to see the progression of their success because it was very quick. Think about it. They come out March 4th, 2019. And not much more than a month later, they announced a world tour. And not just a world tour, a US tour. I think it was in April that they made that announcement. And they went to all major cities in the United States. I think it was 6 cities they went to. Of course, you know they came here to Los Angeles too. Anywho, the name of their album was called The Dream Chapter Star, right? And they're known for alternative R&B, pop rock, and pop punk. That is what Tomorrow by Together is known for. There are 5 members: Yoon Jun, Subin, Byung Gayu, Taeyeon, and Huang Kai. So those 5 members have a very eclectic sound that they produce, combining all those elements that I have talked about earlier. And you know, it works for them. It really works for them. And since the time that they first debuted, they have been hitting the ground running. Like when they announced their tour over here in the United States, did you guys know they sold out in less than 24 hours? Here, just think about this, you guys. A group debuts in March. By the time they announce 1 month later that they are going to the US to do 6 different cities, they sell out in less than 24 hours. That is the power of what they were presenting to the world, right? Of their music. I don't know if it had to do with them coming off the heels of BTS, but BTS had already been out for 6 years. But think about this, you guys. In 2019, BTS was just now coming onto the world stage. Remember, I think they won their first #1 award, meaning that they came out #1 on an award show in 2018. So from then they hit the ground running, even though they debuted in 2013. I'm talking about BTS now. So on the heels of them starting to hit success, here comes another group. That next group was TXT, coming out of the same label, Big Hit. So of course, if I know BTS is successful and here comes another group, I'm saying, hey, if they're successful, I know Tomorrow by Together, hey, here's another group. Let's listen to them too. And by their own right, with their own sound, they developed their own fan base, their own fandom called MOAs. And MOAs, by the way, means moment of alwaysness. And yes, I'm talking alwaysness. I do know my grammar, but that is what it is called. I gotta spell it. ALWAYSNESS. Alwaysness. That is not my word. That is the word that they use. So that's what MOA means. It's an acronym. MOH, meaning moment of alwaysness. And that means that each and every moment that Tomorrow by Together has with their fans is called MOA. So if you are a MOA, that means you share all of Tomorrow by Together's moments with them. So that is what a MOA is. And May 1st, by the way, is MOA Day. That's when they, came up with the name MOA after their debut. Okay, so with that being said, they had achieved things in a very relatively short period of time, right? They debut 1 month, the next month they sell out tours, and then later on they get nominated for all these award shows. By the way, they come out #1 on a lot of those award shows. Here are 5 guys that came from out of nowhere. They debuted in 2019. They've only had 2 years to prep. And I think Hitman Bang announced that he was working on another boy group back in 2017 is when I believe they started making it public that, hey, there's another boy group coming. And then in January, I believe, of 2019, they made it official that, hey, Tomorrow by Together is about to debut. And then in March, they debuted. So That is their trajectory. They have been known to do things like back to back to back to back. Their schedule is crazy, like mega crazy, because of all the K-pop groups, it seems like with them, they're constantly coming out with new music, with new albums, with new mini albums. If it's not an extended play album, then here comes a mini album, then here comes an extended play, and then here comes a mini. Think about it. They debuted, it's 2023. They just debuted 4 years ago. And they are already achieving things that most people that have been in the industry 6 to 10 years, they've already achieved what those groups have achieved. Like, they are really making headway. And they're the first K-pop group to infiltrate Lollapalooza. Now, J-Hope was the first male artist to headline Lollapalooza and set a record, by the way, for the most attendees. But Tomorrow by Together had made an impact as well as being the first K-pop group to headline Lollapalooza this year. So I just want to say congratulations to everything that Tomorrow by Together has achieved. And by the way, did you guys know they were the first group to join the platform Weverse? I always thought it was BTS, but it was actually Tomorrow by Together. They were the first group. Okay, so again, congratulations to Tomorrow by Together. And I'm not sure if I said this or not, but they were the first group to be ambassadors to Dior, or appointed to be ambassadors to Dior. So that's also something to be celebrated as well. So congratulations to Tomorrow by Together. I look forward to this album coming out in October. And like I said, you guys, if you don't have that Weverse, get that Weverse, because that's where the announcements come out first before it hits social media. So there's that. Okay, moving on. So I hope you guys learned something about Tomorrow by Together after, what I just said. Okay, ITZY. Let's talk about ITZY for a moment. One of their members, Leah, had to sit out on the activities of ITZY due to her health. There was a statement that was put out that she had to miss this show called the NBC Soul Music Care, as well as in-person and online fan signing events. So we wish you a speedy recovery, Leah. Your health is first and foremost. There is no word on when she's going to rejoin the other 3 girls in ITZY. Not 3 girls, but because it's more than 3 girls, of course. When she's going to join the other girls in ITZY, but we do wish her a speedy but safe recovery. Okay, moving on for that. Let's talk about Re-Eyes for a moment, okay? Now, this group just barely debuted, right? And they have been in a world of controversy. The first controversy was Sohee, when he was allegedly, accused of being at, and this is something I had to learn because I didn't know anything about this. He was accused of hanging out at hunting bars. Now, I'm 52. You would have thought that I would have known what a hunting bar was, but believe it or not, I didn't know. A hunting bar is when I guess not even men, but it dominantly is men. When they go to these bars and their main purpose is hooking up with someone, right? Because you hunt, you hunt for someone to hook up with. Thus the terminology hunting bars. They said Sohee was allegedly at these hunting bars prior to debuting. They didn't say how far in the past it was that he was there, but that was part of his past. So there's that controversy. Now, here's the latest controversy. Another member by the name of Sung Hong had a girlfriend, allegedly, and there were pictures out with him kissing his girlfriend, him being in bed with the girlfriend, just all these pictures with him and his girlfriend, right? And then someone put out that she was a 2005 liner, meaning she was barely of age or not of age at the time. And that was pretty disturbing, right? Well, come to find out, this person who posted this now had come out and apologized and said the person wasn't a 2005 liner, that the girl was a past girlfriend and she was of age. And this person apologized because SM was going to pursue charges. And I think they still may. From what I read today, it looked like they were still pursuing charges. According to all K-pop, they were still pursuing charges, which is unfortunate because the person did apologize. But hey, lesson learned, right? Don't post something that's not real, right? Or do your fact checking. So I just hope this doesn't damage the integrity and the brand of the group, because they had just come out and they were actually doing pretty well when it had come to social media, when it had come to their music, when it had come to their brand. You know, these boys are looking, they're looking very promising, right? So you guys just be rooting for them. You know, I'm all about positivity here. I'm rooting for these boys. I'm hoping that, you know, all this stuff can be resolved and, you know, they'll have a very successful career. You know me, I'm all about positivity here. And I always think there's a resolve. There's a resolution for anything, right? Right. Okay, let's move on from that. Let's really talk about some positivity here. Let's go on towards 17. This is my last story of the K-pop news segment. 17's Joshua, DK, and Dino is featured on New Kids on the Block's remix of their song Dirty Dancing. And I've been trying to find that actual song. I guess there's not going to be a music video to it, but hopefully I can find that song and next week link it for my music video releases. Even though there's not a music video to it, maybe I can link the audio link on my YouTube version of my podcast. So, but that wraps up this segment of K-pop news. Next up on my Bangtan boys, BTS. You don't want to miss it. BTS news coming up next. Welcome back to that K-pop talk. It is time for BTS news, and this first news story is going to warm your heart. We're going to talk about Kim Tae-young and how a fan got to hang out with him for a day. Yes, you heard me right. This is on Dingo's YouTube channel. And by the way, I will link that on my description box of my YouTube so you guys can watch it. The fan's name is Kim Ha-young. She is a second-year student, and she has aspirations of being an officer in the military. And she was posed to take her exam, right, for the military. By the way, she did end up getting in. And V found her, allegedly, they found her on Weverse because V allegedly did answer her. I'm saying allegedly because this has not been confirmed. This is what has been out here as to how they found out who she was and brought her in. Okay, so this episode aired on August 31st. And like I said, I will link it in my description box on YouTube. They got to go to the arcade together. They shared a meal together. They took pictures together. And just the whole interaction at first, you could tell they were both shy when they first met up with each other, especially in that car ride. But after that, they both warmed up and they both got along very well. And it was amazing to see the interaction between V and one of the fans. As a matter of fact, this whole week has been about BTS interacting with fans. So we'll get into that more later on. But I just want to say, you know, this shows a lot of character this shows a lot of character of who Kim Tae-young is and the kind words that he gave Kim Ha-young. And I really believe him when he told her, when you become an officer, I want you to look for me, right? And I really believe she's going to take him up on that offer. And I really believe once she becomes an officer, she will look for him and say, hey, you know, I made it. And I really believe that Kim Tae-young is going to say, hey, I'm proud of you for making it. I really do honestly believe that. So congratulations, Kim Ha-young, on meeting V. And V, hey, you did good. All right, moving on about V. So as we know, his album is coming out on the 8th, and it's called Layover. So far, he's released what? Rainy Days and Love Me Again, and 2 trailers to Blue. He's released all his photo promotions of the album, and we are looking forward to that video Blue, as well as looking forward to the release of his whole album on the 8th. I'm very excited because I'm not sure if you guys know, but the director of New Jeans, and I forgot her name, is Min something, but she actually had overseen V's album Layover. So it doesn't surprise me when Danielle did the cover, and that Danielle from New Jeans, when she did the cover to Rainy Days, that she nailed it, right? And I remember V on his V Live, he was watching her because he was trying to see how she was going to do that bridge part. And if you remember watching him on his V Live, he was like, he said something to the effect of, I'm wondering how she's going to do this part. And when she did it, his eyes got big and he was doing this, you know, because of the cadence. And the reason why Danielle nailed the cadence is because that's what New Jeans does in their songs. Their cadence is so distinct. And you could tell the director when she did V's album that cadence was in that album. So Danielle breezed through. I mean, she breezed through that song. It was flawless because that is what she's used to doing, that cadence, right? So congratulations to Danielle for killing it, because she killed that cover on V's album. But again, you know, V was surprised. Okay, and V's been everywhere, right? He's been everywhere. Like, not only was he on Dingo with the fan meet and greet for the day, he also was on this other channel called Pixid, and that's Pixid, where he pretended to be a cat lover. And he fooled the the people that was in the segment, because he was an imposter and they didn't even know it was him. And when he revealed himself, they were shook. It was funny. You guys need to watch it. I'll put that link in my description box on my YouTube podcast as well. But not only was he in that, he's been doing his promotions for the City of Soul. There's several not music videos, but several videos where he is actually promoting tourism for the City of Soul. And on top of that, he has his Cartier promotions. He's been in all the magazines. You name it, V has been in those magazines. And he's also done his Celine appearances as well. So V's been everywhere. Like, literally, he has been everywhere. And now he's going to start making his music shows, you know. So now it's going to be him and Jungkook. You know, both of them are going to be competing. I wonder if they are going to be competing, or is just Jungkook is going to pull out while V enters into those music show competitions. Or, you know, it could be some friendly competition going on. We'll see. But yes, V is starting to make appearances. He's going to start pretty soon making appearances on those competition music shows. Let's talk about V's V Lives. So V has been on V Lives more than normal, of course, because he has to promote his album coming out, right? So his interaction with fans is going to be a little bit more. So the one that really got to me, though, was the one that he was sort of tipsy and he kept looking up in the air. And I'm like, V, why are you looking up in the air? Because people are already linking you to Jenny. And just by him looking in the air and being tipsy, he's giving his reflexes that he can't help because he's tipsy a way to looking at someone in the corner. And now people are going to draw their own conclusions as to who he's looking at. V, stop doing that. You don't want people drawing their own conclusions. Trust me, they're already talking. We don't need that. So V, stop. Okay, and then also the latest V Live, though, V was promoting more of his songs. At the end of the V Live, we heard Rainy Days, of course. But prior to that, V was listening to other songs. He started off playing a rock song, and then he was playing some lo-fi music. And then after that, that's when he started playing his song. So that was a very, very last V Live that he had. So that is what V has been up to. And congratulations to him, because he has finally surpassed 1 billion streams on Spotify as a solo artist. So that is to be celebrated. And he continues to come in at #1 on South Korea's music shows. Like, I think he's been #1 for 4 weeks in a row now. So that's very interesting that he's #1 for 4 weeks in a row now. Okay, which is interesting because Jungkook's 7 keeps coming in at #1 too. So are they like going in different music shows, or how is that going? You know, so that's interesting to see this friendly competition going on between Jungkook and V. Okay, moving on. Okay, everybody knows about Jungkook had a birthday on September 1st, and I just want to say happy birthday to Jungkook as well. And not only did he celebrate his birthday, there were some fans who also got to take pictures with him when he was out and about having dinner. One fan in particular was a fitness model. I'm not going to say her name. You guys could look that up on your own on who the rest of these fans are that were able to take pictures with Jungkook. But this one fitness model in particular that took a picture with him also had a birthday on September 1st. So it was just meant for her to meet, you know, Jungkook, because her birthday was also September 1st. I mean, how awesome is that, to be able to meet someone that you look up to and your birthday is on the same day with them. Okay, moving on. As you guys know, I have been asking where has Jungkook been, because he has not been on Weverse. Well, he got on Weverse on his birthday. So there you have it. He was on Weverse, and he celebrated his birthday with us armies, right? I don't know if you guys noticed, but you probably did, that his hair is different. He cut his hair. He had a little white beanie on and a white shirt with some black lettering to celebrate his birthday with us. He actually got on at 12:55 a.m. Korea Standard Time to celebrate his birthday with us. And then that would have been 8:55 p.m. on August 31st Pacific Standard Time here in LA. So although it wasn't quite, you know, technically September 1st, you know, we knew it was September 1st over in South Korea. So we watched Jungkook and celebrated with him. And it was weird because he said that when he left his music playing in his house, he went to practice, he went to go eat, he had a drink, and he had come home. And when he got on Weverse, Take Two was playing in the background when he was talking to us. And I heard Take Two playing, and I know you guys did that, watch Weverse. But it was just interesting that he said he didn't even plan for that. It just happened. So there's that. And then he was also playing cards with us. You know, he was like, do you want to see a card trick? And I'm just like, what? I mean, you know, he is so impromptu like that. Like, you never know what's coming from Jungkook. He is so impromptu. Like, spontaneous is his middle name. So it was nice seeing him on there. You guys know that he was on Station Head not so long ago, and he even said that his time on Weverse is going to be limited because he is preparing for his next project, which we all know allegedly is supposed to be an all English album. So we'll see if it's really going to be all English, but he is preparing for that. He is nervous. He did say on Station Head that he was nervous, but as you guys know, we will be cheering him on. Now, I will say, when he was on his Weverse for his birthday, for a minute there, he looked very emotional because he was talking about how many years he spent with Army on his birthday, right? And he turned to, I don't know if you guys noticed, but watch it again if you want to. When he talked about how many years he had been with Army, and he said thank you for being, you know, standing by him, he looked to the right, our right, right? And which probably would have been his left. He looked to our right, and then he, you know, his face got real serious. And I was like, I felt it. I don't know if you guys felt it, but I felt it, like he was having a heartfelt moment. I thought he was going to start crying. I really did. So you could tell that he really cares. Like, he really, really cares. So he thanked Army for always being there. And then, like I said, he wanted to show us a few card tricks. And as we know, he's working on his album. And that's pretty much what's been going on with Jungkook. You know, I don't think we're going to see him as often as we normally will. Like I said, even I was asking where was Jungkook because he's always on Weverse. But now we know, we're anticipating his new music coming out. So for that, we'll give him a pass to know that he's not going to be on Weverse a lot. So, you know, we'll take what we can. We know he's going to get in where he fits in. So we understand it. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about Jimin. Okay, so speaking of Jungkook, you guys, I know you guys have seen the photo by now of what Jimin posted about him and Jungkook with their backs. And you know, on Jimin's back, he has that tattoo of the moon, right? The moon, I think the sun is in there too, but you know, of the alignment of the moons, the half moons, quarter moons, you know, how it went down his back. And the tattoo artist also made a comment on Twitter and posted it as well. But did you guys know that Jimin went with that because someone had showed that tattoo from the tattoo artist that had seen it, and someone had showed it to Jimin, and then Jimin has seen the drawing and said, I want to go with that, and that's how he came up with the you know, drawing for his tattoo, because he saw it from an army. So you just never know. BTS really does look at your stuff, you guys. Moving on with Jimin though, but Jimin did wish JK happy birthday, and like I said, their backs went famous. The picture of their backs went famous. And Jimin did another video campaign for Tiffany and Company. What else has he been up to? Oh, he attended the Lady Dior event, and he did say something about that because, as you guys know, he also did a V Live on Weverse. He said that, you know, he was at the event. He loved to see Army. Like, he said he loves it when he sees Army because it reminds him of, you know, when he's together with BTS, you know, just seeing the love from the Army. And he said he was leaving an event, and when he left the event, he thought he was going to see Army again, and he walked out and there was no Army. So he was like, what happened? He left out the wrong door, you guys. So he thought he was leaving out the door to see more Army on his way to his car, and he walked out the wrong door. He started laughing on the V Live, and he said, so he decided to come on to the Weverse, you know, V Live. So thus that prompted the V Live. But I really studied that V Live, you guys, because, you know, Jimin, a lot of things is going on with Jimin, in my opinion. A lot of things is going on with him because he was saying that the reason why he's been gone is because he's been working on himself. He's been working on a couple things that he was embarrassed about, and he's starting to do things from scratch. And at first he was saying, there's things I can't tell you. I can't tell you the reason why I'm not being seen in public a lot. But then he reversed that and started talking little by little about what was really going on with him. And I just said, didn't you just say that you wasn't going to say what was going on? And now it baffles me, like when people say that. I do that too sometimes. I say, well, I can't tell you. Then all of a sudden I end up telling you. But that's what he did, you guys. Like in the beginning of the V Live, he's saying, I can't really tell you what I've been up to, but just know that I'm working on myself. And I was embarrassed by some things, and I'm working on it, and I want to try to do these things right. And I started from scratch, and I'm working very hard. And I'm like, okay, Jimin, I could read between the lines. I know what you're saying. And, you know, you remember that one show, I forgot if it's Minute or what show it is that you have to sing live. This is the only thing I could think he's talking about. When he was singing live and people was talking about his voice. So that's my conclusion, is that he was embarrassed by that. But Jimin, you don't need to be embarrassed by that, because trust me, there's some people who can't sing a lick and they have to use tracks all the time. Just because you was caught off guard and, you know, your voice was a little off does not mean that you need to go back to square one, like start from scratch. I know he said that he's composing songs. You remember when Jimin did the Face album, he said that he did something that he hasn't done ever. and that is contribute to the album, right? Because it's normally Suga or J-Hope or R.E.M. They are the producers and writers, along with P-Dog, of course, that does a lot of BTS stuff. And, you know, for Jimin to say that he's starting from scratch on this one, and he said he wants to stop being lazy, I'm just like, Jimin, where have you been lazy? I think Jimin is so hard on himself, you guys. Jimin is very, very hard on himself when he doesn't need to be. That is the perfectionist that's in Jimin. I think, you know, and it's amazing to me how each one of these BTS members have this drive within them to be perfect. And they don't need to be perfect, but they inside themselves, they want to be perfect. And Jimin, in so many words, that is what he was telling us, right? And my heart was going out to him because I'm looking at his face, I'm looking at his demeanor, and I'm just like, Jimin, you don't have to be that hard on yourself. We like you for you. We love your work the way it is. But Jimin is saying, Jimin is like, I need to be better. So I get that. You know, I understand that. Believe it or not, my daughter is like that. My daughter is like, she has to be perfect. And if she's not perfect, she's going to work at being perfect. But those are the 1%ers, you guys. I always say that 1%ers do what 99% of others won't do. Like, that's just a 1%er. And not everybody's going to be a 1%er. That's why it's only 1%. But their work ethic, the way they think, the way they do things is so different and over the top according to what, or compared to what the 99% of others will do. So Jimin is a 1%er by far, hands down. That's what he is. So although I thought he was doing too much, I get it. And I'm telling you, when you see Jimin again, and when he comes out with his next project, it's going to be better than Face. Trust me, because that's where he is at. And speaking of Jimin, talking about Jimin. Speaking of Jimin, I know for a fact that, you remember when he showed us his house? You remember Jimin, Jimin showed us his house, and he was just like, my parents, because he went through his house, and his house was it wasn't decorated or anything. He said his parents was talking about, Jimin, can we redo your house? In layman's terms, that's what they were saying. They said it's a very cold and sterile home. That's another thing. Like Jimin, he's that person. It seems like he doesn't give any attention to how his house looks because he is all about his work, right? You saw that he had his workout room there, and someone thought he had hurt his hand, but he hurt his hand working out. See, that's what I'm saying. Like Jimin goes over the top. Like he is putting his all in all into everything that he does. But that's, you know, it doesn't surprise me at all on who Jimin is. So okay, but let's you know, I went off the deep end here, but let's go back on what else he's been up to. He is also learning English, you guys. So he was saying how he wants to learn English, but he's lazy at learning it. Maybe that's what he was talking about. He was talking about being lazy. He said he should be learning English, but he's being lazy at doing it. And then he was talking about how he gave an example, like when he comes home, he knows he needs to wash up and get ready to go to bed, but he'll stay up to 1 o'clock in the morning and still says, okay, I need to wash up and go to bed, and won't do it because he's just too lazy to do it. So he was talking about that. But he said that one thing he was laughing about was when he goes for his runs, because he runs on the Hans River. And I'm not saying this so you guys could all jump and go to the Hans River, but he did say it, so that's why I'm repeating it, that he goes sometimes for runs near the Hans River, and he always sees RM. Well, the reason why you see RM is because RM's an outdoors person. We all know this. So, and RM loves to work out too as well. So it doesn't surprise me that those two see each other in passing on the Hans River. Hey everyone, let's move on to RM. Speaking of RM, because you know Jimmy said he saw RM, so now I'm going to segue into RM. His birthday too is in September. We talked about Jungkook's being on the 1st. RM's is on September 12th. So be thinking about that because that's coming up pretty soon. He did mention both of their birthdays on the V Live. And speaking of RM being on V Live, he finally addressed the Islamic phobic issue that the Muslim community was calling on him to apologize. Now, I first broke this story 2 weeks ago, and I'm surprised that everyone is talking about it now because I talked about it on August 22nd, which is very interesting that people are just now talking about it. But here are my thoughts on this. You can see the pain that is in RM's eyes. You can feel the pain that is coming from his voice even. Like when he did the V Live, you guys, he wasn't on there to talk about that. He was just on there because he saw a rainbow and he thought of Army. He came into his studio to get on there and say what's up to us and talk about his day and how he was doing. And then someone must have mentioned something because you see him breaking down and he was like, look, guys, and then he explained himself. And he said he really didn't want to just drag the V Live on out about that because he said, believe him, believe his words, believe his sincerity, and that he doesn't have anything or any malice, any hate or anything against any type of religion, right? You guys, let's learn and heal and move on. And that's what I said in my podcast when I talked about this subject 2 weeks ago. Once you know and once you are informed, you do better. And that's what RM is trying to do, you guys. Let's not judge. And if you know something, it's all about education. And if you don't know, it's about research, right? So let's just go on in positivity and love and just move on, you guys. Okay? Now, if RM does it again, that's a different story. But you guys, he's already addressed it. Let's move on. Let's not hear about this again because you know what? There's so many different religions out there, so many different classifications of people out there. We just need to unify and move on in love. Okay, let's move on to Sugar. As we know, Sugar's been chilling. He's had a big tour. He had a Citrata talk show. He's preparing for the military. So he's been pretty quiet. But, and I'm going to say but, he had this promotion that he recently had done with Samsung for a projector. You heard me right, a projector. When I saw this, I was like, what? But Samsung has a projector. And not only do they have a projector, this projector is their second generation, which means they had a projector before this projector, right? Tongue tie right there. But I decided to check this projector out. So I went to Samsung's website, and this projector is something that you actually plug into your phone and it goes on the wall like a regular projector. You don't need that big bulky red, yellow, green, or blue, whatever those colors are from a big box projector to make something project onto the wall. This little bitty cylinder thing, not more than 5 inches tall, will do the same thing, and you just plug it into your phone. So, I'm going to look into that. And guess what? It's because of Sugar that I'm going to look into it. So, had it not been for Sugar, I would have never known about it. So, good job, Sugar. You letting the world know more about Samsung products. Okay, moving on from that. But that's all I have on Sugar for the week. The last story, because, it's about J-Hope. Jen, I don't have to talk about because nothing has really happened with Jen this week. As you know, Jen and J-Hope both are in the military right now. But there is a story about J-Hope I want to talk about real quick before I end this BTS segment. So there is a company called Jeongju Glass that has a dog sanctuary, right? And the dog sanctuary was really in need of renovations. They had poor flooring, poor water flow. When the floods would come in from monsoon season, it would flood very bad. The roof was caving in. Like, it was, the dog sanctuary was in much need of repair. It was in bad shape. So they put out a blog, and this woman calls, and this happened in, let me look, make sure I got the month and year right. February 2022. This woman calls, right, and said, I saw your blog and you know your dog sanctuary is in much need repair and I want to help out. How can I help out? So she sent some money in. As a matter of fact, she sent so much money in, they were able to totally renovate this dog sanctuary. They got new flooring, they got new caging, blankets to keep warm in the wintertime. They got a new roof, a new structure. Basically, they revamped the whole entire place, right? Much later, they found out that this lady was the mother of none other than J-Hope from BTS. And it was because of her and BTS that this whole place had gotten a makeover, right? Not only that, J-Hope still donates money to them. But they decided to just now publish the story in their blog to let people know that secretly it was J-Hope and his mother that had paid for the renovations. What a story. And they have before and after pictures of the dog shelter or the dog sanctuary. And let me tell you, it looks so much better. So congratulations to Jungkook Glass for getting your dog sanctuary renovated. And you know what, J-Hope, thank you for doing it. And we know that you wanted to keep your, giving a secret, but sometimes we need to know about the good that others do in the world to maybe spark motivation for other people to do good as well. Okay, so that wraps up BTS news. Like I said, Jin is, just doing his thing in the military like J-Hope is. So we have nothing to report on him, but tune in next week because you guys know I do the BTS news segment every week. So that wraps up BTS news. Coming up is my last segment. I have my new music video picks of the week. So you don't want to go anywhere. My last segment is coming up next. Welcome back to that K-Pop Talk. We are on the last segment of the evening. These are my music video picks of the week of newly released music videos that really captured my attention. We're going to talk about it. The first one coming up is called Gold, Gold, Gold by Jeon Somi. As you guys know, a couple weeks ago, she released Fast Forward, which quickly became a hit. This is no different. Gold, Gold, Gold. Is another amazing music video from her. I like her because she's very lighthearted. It's like she's a free spirit, so to speak. So I really like her. So my notes on this, I said it has a heavy bass. She raps in this one, actually. She sings on the bridges, but she actually raps the chorus and she raps the verses. It's a catchy chorus. It's showing her versatility as an artist. The choreography is playful. And she's just a very playful artist. Like I said, very light-spirited. So I really, really enjoyed it. So this is Go, Go, Go. As you guys know, all the music videos, I will put the links in my YouTube description box so you guys can check it out. Now, this is the one that I really been waiting on. And I talked about him a couple weeks ago. Leo, from formerly of Trainee A, has his music video out now. It's called One Look, and I've been dying for this one. I have said when I saw his music video teasers, I said, when is this music video coming out? Actually, it wasn't even a music video teaser. At first, it was just like the audio version, and then he put out a teaser to the audio version, and then he put out a teaser to the music video finally. And I was like, when is this video coming out? It finally came out. It did not disappoint. For him that had little to no airplay, right now he has over 1 million views. So congratulations to Leo. You are doing phenomenal. This is an all English hit. It's called One Look. My notes on this is that I believe it may have been filmed in LA. I think it was filmed in LA, you guys, because I do know he talked to a couple of LA radio stations and he performed at an LA festival. So I'm pretty sure this was filmed in LA. This is a nice summer song as well. And it has a Latino underlying drum beat to this song. It's very airy. I very much love it. My notes also on this is that the musicality of the voice is Justin Bieber meets Charlie Puth with the sounds of Drake. So if you take the music in Drake, you know, when he's singing, you know, that do do do, you know, like that little drum beat of Drake and his musicality from there. But the vocals from Justin Bieber and Charlie Puth. That's basically in a nutshell what this song sounds like. Very beautiful. So congratulations to Leo. And you guys just be looking out for him, because I think there's going to be some good things to come from Leo. There's one note I must tell you about Leo, though. I think he needs to work on his shyness. You remember when he was with Trainee A and Leo left the group actually because of some mental health issues that he was saying that he was grappling with? And I get it. I understand. Trust me. And I'm all about mental wellness, right? But I think one of the things I see when he performs, and also even in his video, is that he is shy. Like in the music video, just look at it. He can't even look you in, he couldn't even look the camera in the face. And even when I saw him performing that festival in LA, you could just tell he was shy. So I think that's something that he's going to have to work on, because he is uber talented, like uber talented. From Trainee A, when I looked at Leo, my eyes locked on him, because there was something about him that drew me to him. And I think I mentioned this before when I saw Trainee A, like him and two other guys. I was like, oh my God, these guys stand out. Leo was one of them. And I remember he goes, shh, when they made the song about them living in that one bedroom, and they had socks in there and stuff they were throwing around. Like all I remember is Leo does shh, and it just drew me to him. I'm like, who is this guy? Like he has that star quality, but he has to get over his shyness. So that's one thing about him. Okay, and moving on from that, let's talk about NCT. They are back bigger than ever with their music video Baggy Jeans. Y'all, my five boys, let me tell you, Taeyoung, oh my goodness, Jaeyoung, Tien, Doyoung, and Mark, those five. I had to take my breath because I'm just thinking about their choreography in between. I can't even talk right now because the choreography was so good. It you guys remember, the ones who have been following me on this podcast, you remember I was just talking about the Seventh Sense from NCTU and the choreography. And at the end of their choreography, they turn backwards, so their back is facing the camera, and they do this like thing with their hands. Tell me why they didn't do it again in this video. They did it again. I fell out. I was like, oh my God. And then swaying the arms, like Taeyoung, when he sways his arms. I remember when he did it, Ayo, when he was part of NCT 127, and he swings his arms. Oh my God, he did it again. Well, this time they all did it. They were swinging their arms in the choreography. Love it. Like Taeyoung, and I'm talking about not Taeyang, that's Big Bang. I'm talking about Taeyoung. That's Taeyong. Like he really stands out to me. Him and Dojae Jung, like the members of Dojae Jung, and Tien and Mark. Let me tell you, those boys right there, their harmony, and I think I mentioned this before, reminds me of EXO, SHINee, Monster X, especially when they go up a half a key and they're in harmony still. And they do this a lot. Oh my goodness, I gotta stop talking about them. Y'all, let me tell you, I could talk about them all day long. They are that good. And Baggy Jeans did not disappoint. You guys check out their latest album, coming back with that golden age. That's their comeback. And you know what? Hats off to you, NCTU. Taeyoung, you my boy. Dojae Jung, y'all my group, my subgroup rather. Mark and Tien, look, all y'all, NCT, I got you, boo. Okay, let's move on. All right, you guys, and the fourth and final music video is from Stray Kids. It's called Sociopath. It's featuring Lisa. Not the Lisa from Blackpink, but Lisa as in capital L, small I, capital S, capital A, Lisa. When I look at my notes, first thing I see is Felix, and I'm saying Felix, because he has such a distinctive role in this song. When the verse comes out, right before the chorus, there's this break, and this break has a bridge, right? A bridge chorus. He is phenomenal in this bridge chorus. And what I mean by that is he links the verse to the chorus, and his interim singing is so deep, it just draws you in, especially during a music video, because in the music video, the camera is on him. And you know, Felix look good as it is. So I was just like, I love it. And he did this in one other music video too, off of the last album. I just love it when they do that to him. But anyways, his voice is amazing and it draws your attention. The music video itself has an outer space theme to it. And I just love the music video. So that is our last music video, Sociopath. Now, there is a bonus song. And by the way, Sociopath is in Japanese, so you guys will know. There is a bonus release audio song called Miserable or Miserables. I'm pretty sure it's Miserable. It's from Han. And in parentheses, it says you and me. And this song is so beautiful. It has, if you guys know the music artist Usher, it has those undertones of influence from him. That's what it sounds like, right? Like you could tell, like if you put Usher's music to this music, you could tell that they drew some influence from Usher because of the slow tempo of the guitar that carries the melody with the bass undertone is so beautiful. How he carries his voice, how Han carries his voice is gorgeous. Like, I love this song. No, there is not a music video, but maybe, who knows, one day there may be. But for right now, I'm enjoying the song without the music video. Also, just want to let you guys know that, like BTS, almost all of their songs that Stray Kids puts together is in collaboration with JYP Entertainment and the producers. Like, they have hands-on all their songs almost. Like, it's amazing to see that. And that's why we feel such a connection to their songs. And they also have their own production company. Like Han, Big Chan, and Chanbin have their own production company called Three Racha. And Han alias is J1. In Three Racha, his alias is J.1. And they did have a hand in this song, Miserable. They had a hand in this song, and I think it was Han that co-wrote it with one of the other two members, either Bang Chang or Changbin. So it's a beautiful song, you guys. So that's it, you guys. That's all I have for today's podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Tune in next week. We will be here, and I will come back to you again with K-pop news, BTS news, and more new music video releases that caught my eye. You guys already know what it's about. It's about that K-pop talk. Oh yeah, you guys, please do not forget to click like, share, and subscribe to my podcast channel. And I will see you guys next week, because you guys already know it's about that K-pop talk. Bye.